the public has the information they need to make an informed decision. So again, thank you all for your commitment. Any public comments online? Because there's nobody in the room. Okay. So first thing we need to do is to approve the September 9th meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
All right, going to go ahead and take a roll call vote. Chris?
Yes.
Jeremy? Megan?
Yes.
Is Eric on yet?
No.
Okay, let's skip Eric. And is Lisa on yet?
No.
Okay. And Joe is, Joe? Mr. Adubato?
Stepped off.
No, he's not on. All right. Mimi?
I will abstain.
All right, Chris?
Yes.
Nicole? Nicole? I think that was a yes. Bob Kuna?
Yes.
Wendy Zawinski? Wendy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And Neil?
Yes.
Laura? I'll ask one more time. Laura?
Yes.
Thank you. And we don't have Gail. Tom? Martha?
Yes.
Mark Sullivan?
Yes.
All right. And the chair is a yes, so it's 1, 2, 3,
Joe
4.
Adubato is back online if you want.
Oh, Joe, are you a yes on the approving of the minutes of September 9th?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 yeses, 0 nos, and 1 abstention.
Chair.
Yes.
Tom Regan joined.
Oh, okay, Tom? Go back and take his. Do you approve the minutes from September 9th, 2025?
I abstain.
Okay, so that's 13 yes, 0 no's, and 2 abstentions. All right. Next is invoices for approval. Melissa Massardo would normally be the one taking over for this because she's chair, but she is not present this evening. And so since I'm vice chair of the school committee, I will go ahead and have someone please make motions, and I will take the count.
I'll make a motion to approve invoice number BHS 00023 from Doran Whittier in the amount of $18,000.
Any discussion? All right. Chris?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Megan?
Yes.
Chair is yes, 400. Next one, please.
I'll make a motion to approve Tape Architects invoice number 250906 in the amount of $78,630.
Second.
Any discussion? Chris?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Megan?
Yes.
Chair is an aye, 400. Next.
I'll make a motion to approve consigli invoice number 1 in the amount of $31,880.
Second.
Any discussion? All right. Chris?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Megan?
Yes.
Chair is an aye, 400. Next.
I'll make a motion to approve Cartoon EDU invoice number 000183 in the amount of $3,975.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. Chris?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Megan?
Yes.
Chair is an aye, that's 400. Thank you. All right. And the next item is the project schedule.
I'll just do a quick budget update.
Okay?
Am I speaking into this, Bob? Does that, everyone can hear me?
Is your, it doesn't sound like it's on. There you go.
Now there's another one. All right. Needless to say, we're on budget. You know, what I will say is that the 1.5 million is largely going to be expended. I think there'll probably be after we run some of these invoices through. I think, Nick, we were at $6,000 or $7,000 that will be remaining in the kitty. That's funds for this committee to allocate as appropriate. So there's really not much more to say on that topic. It just, you know, we've reached the finish line.
That's great. Now we can talk about the schedule.
Yeah, and on the schedule, this is one that I've shown, and I'd just like to take a moment. You know, 5 weeks ago when we had our last meeting, there was a lot of uncertainty and things that we needed to do, and, you know, we had meetings with the select board. They voted unanimously to support this project. We met with Ways and Means. They met unanimously to support this project. We had a really good discussion with the planning board shortly after town meeting, just to give them an update. And so, I think we couldn't be happier. We had a unanimous decision here at the building committee to move forward with this project. So I think we're in good shape leading into November 15th. That's the date of the election. That's the schedule that I'm showing here. And with a positive vote, the next schedule you'll see will be much more detailed, because Christy and I will be working on that with Chris to show you what's going to happen over the next 12 months in terms of detailed design, and then ultimately, you know, construction beginning in April of '27. So I'll show all of that. I just thought it was important just to stick with what's at hand, which is obtaining a yes vote at the debt exclusion on November 15th.
Thank you. And the next up is community outreach, and I go ahead.
Yeah, so before I get to this, Chris Blesson and the TAP A team have put together a video that we'd like to show you. It's sort of I'll let Chris describe it, because he did all the work.
Yeah, it's just a project overview video that we created to kind of highlight the aspects of the building educationally that you're going to get just to highlight some of those aspects we've talked about in still photos so far, but we wanted to bring that to a little bit better light. So that's what we worked on.
From this aerial vantage, the existing Burlington High School building and its surroundings come into view and provide a clear sense of context, showing how the school relates to the community and the connection to Cambridge Street, which is unaffected by the proposed project. As we transition to the proposed option, the contrast stands out. Parts of the existing building are retained and renovated, including the auditorium and the gyms to the northwest side of the new parking lot and new bus loop. And to the southeast, the building to remain will be renovated and repurposed as the Center for Education, housing early education, BCAT, district offices, and high school curricular programs. The new academic wings to the north connect to the existing building and provide 21st century learning in a very efficient way. Students and visitors approach the school through a secure, welcoming vestibule, monitored by the administration office, a controlled threshold that guides the transition from the exterior into the heart of the building. The vestibule then gives entry into a light-filled building, an inspiring space that reflects the spirit of Burlington High School and establishes an immediate sense of belonging. The Media Center serves as a dynamic hub for collaboration and discovery, an adaptable environment that supports a range of learning styles, blending technology, teamwork, and imagination into one inspiring space. The cafeteria brings students together in a flexible, light-filled space that extends into the landscape, inviting moments of reflection and community both indoors and out. Looking across the campus, there are new opportunities outside of the cafeteria and the courtyard, in which outdoor spaces come alive and foster curiosity and a meaningful connection to the natural environment. Situated between the two academic wings, the courtyard serves as an extension of the classroom to the outdoors, connecting students and teachers to nature through natural light and framed views. It provides a strong sense of place while offering flexible opportunities for learning in the open air. The enclosed connector seamlessly ties the classroom wings together, creating a unified flow and offering adaptable pathways for both students and teachers throughout the day. As we look out through the window of a science classroom, that sense of place is once again reinforced. Inside, the space offers a flexible, inspiring environment designed to support hands-on learning and exploration. This view represents a standard classroom in the adjacent wing, designed for flexibility and engagement, offering a bright and well-organized space that supports collaboration, independent work, and a variety of learning approaches. Zooming out, the full campus emerges as a unified, flexible environment where renovated space and new additions come together to foster learning, creativity, and connection across every corner of Burlington High School. Please visit the Building Project website for more information at bhsbuildingproject.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so that'll now be on the project website and anywhere else that people feel like posting it. It's a link to we can have it embedded, or we can put it in. It's on Vimeo and YouTube at the moment, so we can provide links to both of those locations. But yeah, we were just hoping to highlight more of the educational benefits and aspects of the building. So
just explicitly, Parent Square,
Yep.
all parents?
Yep, I'll send you the link,
Okay.
or Nick. Someone will send it to you, and we can get that out on Parent Square. That'd be great.
Okay.
And do we know where on the BHS Building Project website people can find this?
It'll probably be on the front page.
On the front page, great, thank you.
that
And
would be
it'll be a link and you can just click on it?
Yeah, you just
Okay,
click on it.
Great.
There'll be a still shot is typically what it looks like, and then you just press play.
Can you email us a link?
Yep. Yep. Why don't we just do that? We just send it to all the SBC
Everyone,
members,
yeah.
and then everybody has it, but, I want to make sure that Eric has it for Parent Square.
Are there any comments or questions from people online? All right. Move on.
Yep, so just continuing on the theme of community outreach, we've reestablished our working group, and we meet kind of weekly right now leading up to town meeting. One thing I wanted to address, a long time ago, we talked about providing a mailing to the entire town. And over the course of, I would say, the last 2 years, the Office of Campaign and Political Finance has really tightened the screws on what building committees can send to communities in terms of information. And so in looking at that and then in coupling that with what the town chose to do, in that they are sending out it's not one page, it's actually a mailing associated with the ballot. It will also include a yes and a no opinion included in it, and the ballot
Pro and con
language.
statements, yep.
Yep. And so, my recommendation is sending out another mailing is not necessary, and I don't think it's a good use of the committee's funds, frankly, because it's being done already.
And we really can't use funds to
Right.
inform any or send any additional information.
The note that we
for
could
from this
send
committee.
would say who, what, when, where.
Right.
So that's I wanted to touch on that. Having said that, we just went over a one-page flyer that I want to basically have available for the use by really anybody, that really just says, this is the project, here's the date of the election, with 2 QR codes, one to the project website and the other to that new video that you've just seen. So we'll have that available, should be by tomorrow. We need to make some changes based on the discussion earlier today.
You can probably send the video in that at the same time?
We'll probably send the video first so that people can get their
Okay.
hands on it.
Oh, Chris.
So I guess I'm going to ask the why not. If we have the $6,000 to $7,000 roughly remaining, that's about what the mailer would cost. Why not send out another information to the town, bringing up the awareness of the election? We have one that's going out. Two, we're going to have the funds that are left over. I know that it's limited what we can say, but the more awareness to the special election, the better. I'm going to ask the why not.
$6,000 cover the entire town?
So the town's is 9,200, because I looked from town meeting. So theirs is 9,200. I'm going to guess that theirs is longer. And if we're doing like a postcard, it would be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, sure.
So roughly 6 to 7 should. Again, you're going to have to check my math, but should. But I guess that's just mine is why not? Why not bring more awareness to the election? Because not everyone's going to see the sign up. Not everyone's going to see the Facebook posting. Not everyone may grab that piece of mail that one day. You know, I hate to say it, if it comes on a Thursday and it's with all the other, ads that we get, sometimes those get out. But if you send something twice, unless we have another idea to use the $6,000 to $7,000, I would say that informing the town is a pretty important use of that.
Thank you, Chris.
Through
Yeah,
the
we
chair,
can-
that was my question.
Yeah.
Like, what else? Do we have any other ideas for the use of that money?
Right,
Is
'cause
there
we-
anything else that we can think of that might be as beneficial or more beneficial?
Yeah, we had a long discussion with the community outreach group, and it was a big, long debate. Some of us really felt we should have a second one, and then we had a meeting with, what was the guy's name?
Jason Tate.
Yeah, Jason from the state, and then it was, basically, I get it. I mean, we're getting more information out and sending something else out, but it really would be very basic and bland. And I don't know if there's something else we could do that spending the money would be better for. I don't know. But we're open into listening. I mean, I'm one of the advocates for, was saying we should do the mailing. And again, there was a lot of debate. So if anyone online wants to chime in, I do want to hear from anyone else who has an opinion on it.
I have an opinion about this. Can I
Go ahead,
speak?
Mimi.
Or should I wait?
Go ahead.
I would like to see a second mailing go out. Word has gotten out in my immediate neighborhood because when I have met with neighbors outside, and there are a lot of elderly neighbors on the street who had no idea, and I know they would like to get more information. I'm obviously providing it. But I think in general, if we want engagement and we need to make a greater effort to get the word out about the special election. So I strongly favor that.
So the people will get 2 mailings instead of 1. There'll be the townwide one with everyone will get, and then they want one from us. Anyone else online?
Space it out, of course.
Yeah.
Yep,
So the town mailing, my understanding, was going to get sent out early this week.
it's supposed to be this week.
So that should be turning up in people's mailbox today, tomorrow, Saturday, or Monday.
It didn't come
Assuming
today.
Yeah, it has not
I
come
looked,
today.
yeah.
Did not today.
So, look, I'm not opposed to it. What we will do is, it will be a postcard of sorts. It will likely have the debt exclusion language, what's on the warrant, the date of the election. I can probably identify early voting, and that will be it.
Can we put the website?
And so what we will do, it's a good question. I would hope we could. So in my conversations with Jason Tate from the OCPF, we'll just draft something. I will email that to them. They have to say,
Get 'em
yep.
approve it.
And then, assuming we get those approval, we can move forward with that.
And he was very responsive when we asked
Yeah,
him to a
no,
last-minute
he's
meeting,
been
so
great.
I think, yeah. Martha?
Yeah, I support having a second message so people know about it. It is unusual to have an election with only one topic on it. And I also would like to request if you could ask them to include the last day to register to vote, which is November 5th, as well as the early voting and the November 5th date. And preferably with a link to the building project website so people can find information if they're interested in looking into it more.
Yep, thanks, Martha.
Like I said, we'll draft something between now and tomorrow morning, get it off to Jason. I should have an answer by Monday. He'll probably say I have to send it to legal for review, but given what I know we can say, I think that will be a fairly quick turnaround. So I'll be in position to say, okay, we can make that mailing. We've done it before in other communities. We'll contact a vendor and get that taken care of.
And then we just need to figure out a date that we want to mail it so that the timing is
So
a good
if-
pace.
If you want them to know about November 5th, it has to be,
Before the 5th.
Before the 5th.
Obviously, yes. So that's creeping up fast.
so, yes, it is.
Can I add?
Yep.
So we're,
Chris.
excuse me again. We're going, gosh. Excuse me. We're going through this on another project right now, and we just emailed the flyer to Jason's office. He's actually out this week.
Okay.
And so we got the secondary contact, but in short, she just basically replied back and said the town can create a simple postcard mailer that informs residents of the time, date, and place of the election. Please keep in mind that distribution of even just a time, date, place notice would require the town to file a Form 22A with the local clerk and disclose the cost, the resources and cost associated with the postcard, and then you need to call the Ethics Commission as well. So there's just a lengthy thing going to happen here. So just so everybody knows what we have to do to send time, date, place postcard.
And so I know from talking to Jennifer Priest that the town actually has a bylaw to announce special elections, which is why they have done it. So I just need to figure out where we fall in that. But we'll figure it out, and, you know, drafting what we need will take no longer than an hour. And my hope is that by mid-next week, we have approval, and we'll look to mail it out, I'd say, a week from today or tomorrow, which is the 20th, no, we got a little bit of time. Yeah, so I want to mail it out before Halloween.
Yeah.
Right, that's the 31st. So why don't we target the 29th? Does that work?
Yep.
Okay, so, and I'll report back as, you know, if for some reason we've hit a hiccup, I'll let folks know.
All right. And send an email out to the whole group if there's a problem, please. All right. Thank you.
So moving down to the next slide. This slide here is really what we just showed at town meeting. So I'm not going to go through all of this, but I do want to point out one piece that has been brought to my attention. You'll see in red under code compliance. It says triggered by these upgrades estimated to cost more than 30% of the assessed value of the high school. The assessed value of the high school in 2025 has risen to $65.4 million. I have consistently used the figure of 57, which dates back a few years, because the last 3 years, apparently, it has been 61 million and change. So that's a mistake on my part. It really dates back to, I think, when I first started looking at this project, reading all of the historical reports. Those were the numbers. What I can tell you is that it doesn't change what we're faced with. The number is so overwhelming that the trigger of 30%, we would hit that threshold very, very quickly. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, you know, I've been using an incorrect number. We will change that on the website. The outcome doesn't change.
Thank you. Martha?
I'd also like to add that whether, it sounds like it still would trigger these code compliance issues, but I also want to repeat, as we've mentioned before, that these code compliances are about ADA accessibility and about fire suppression systems, and I think that we want our high school to have those things, and so I wouldn't want to not do those.
Chris?
So I have people challenging this, saying that we can do HVAC for less than a third of the assessed value. And I am trying to explain that that really isn't the case, and that we have documentation from prior years that indicates the cost. And if you look at the cost right now, can you give me a number, what the cost of HVAC is? And
So the number
compared to
that you're
this?
referencing from years ago, I believe, was $70 million from
Is it in that
reports.
document? That-
Yes, but when it comes to the solution that we have in front of us, that we've put in front of you,
Mhm.
that number quickly reaches $100 million, like immediately. You can go into the estimate and you can look at mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire
Is
suppression.
that because of the time that's passed?
It would certainly be, but our estimate is based on a solution, and so I don't know what those other folks had assumed.
Okay.
But there isn't any chance on God's green earth.
I got that, but
that you
I
could do
need
that.
something that proves that.
Okay. So I can pull references from the historic reports that are all on the website and give you that.
Okay.
And then I can give you the estimate that we have for the proposed building solution and what that will cost.
Okay.
Can I
And
ask a
One
question?
other thing, Bobby, how long ago were those estimates, the 80 million?
22 is when the report was finished, started in 21.
Okay, so, I mean, at that point, it wasn't a third of the value, it was over 100% of the value.
Right, but I guess there's a couple different parts, which I'm sure either Chris may talk about in a second, right? So there's an HVAC solution by itself, then there's an electrical part of it, then there's a plumbing part of it, and then there's some code compliance. So, I don't think you can just say, let's replace the HVAC without getting into electrical upgrade and a plumbing upgrade. But if you just wanted to replace, let's say, a boiler, a single boiler, we're not going to trigger the code, right? Hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn, but I think that there is, it's not just a standalone trade by itself. So.
This is a back and forth battle about, well, such and such a community did it for 3 million, why can't we? And it's like,
It was $4 million to replace the HVAC system at the middle school, and that was just in the boiler room alone, right? So that's a comparison that we have in Burlington.
okay,
And that didn't replace the whole entire HVAC system.
if there's
in a
any
building of a quarter
documentation,
size or a third.
In a concrete building that has to be worked on.
if there's any documentation that I can just use, would be great, thank
You
you.
had something to say?
Yeah, I was going to add that the threshold here, the 30% threshold, is pretty specific to the accessibility code, the MAAB. But there's also another one, and I kind of talked about it a little bit at town meeting, but it's the existing building code, and if you just relied on that, there's also a trigger in there that is a level 3 alteration. When you affect more than 50% of the building area, you have to do everything as though it's new construction. And that includes egress systems and life safety, so like fire sprinklers and those kinds of things, which then start adding more value. So even if you could do an HVAC replacement for under 30%, then the area trigger is going to cost you to do more work than just HVAC. You got to do sprinklers and stairs and all the egress issues, which will then raise your cost to probably over 30%.
So even if it was
So
less than a third of the value, which it isn't even close to, but
even if HVAC
you're
alone
doing
was
a large portion of the building or the entire building, that triggers the codes.
over 50% of the building area, just level 3 applies, to exceeding 50% of the building area and requires extensive upgrades to fire safety and egress systems. I can go on, but it just is an extensive renovation that you can't just do the bare minimum. And so when you're talking about a complete change out of HVAC, which is effectively the entire building.
Whatever you're reading, could you send me like a screenshot of it?
Yeah, it's the International Building Code, but I'll send it to you. It's about 800 pages long.
So we'll prepare a response collectively through the team to address the issue. Okay?
Anyone online? I'm sorry, just want to make sure that we include everyone. Any comments or questions? Okay.
The next slide is just something, the previous slide was what if town meeting fails? Well, what if the debt exclusion fails? I think many of the folks in this room understand that the 1.5 million invested to date would not be recoverable. And then I know folks say, well, let's wait for the MSBA, and that is certainly a possibility. But I think folks need to understand what that actually means, which is you start over from ground zero. And when does ground zero start? Well, you have a building that's in the MSBA process now at Fox Hill. The MSBA is not going to fund two projects at once in the same community. We've had that guidance as long as I've been doing this, and I think if you ask anyone in the industry, they will agree with that. So what does that mean? Fox Hill, the kids move in 27. The construction is complete in 28. You're probably not familiar with the MSBA closeout process. It really is well, it's challenging, and it takes time. It's all about financial accounting. If it was done within a year, I'd be shocked because I've never seen it done that fast. But if it was, so then let's just say that the earliest we could, or the school could submit an SOI, let's call it 29, and you get into the program. You start again. You form a building committee. You have to do a feasibility study and a schematic design. That's a process that will take at least 2 years. So that brings you to 31. Assuming you hire you have a designer, they finish their design, you start construction likely in 32. Midpoint of construction is 2034. So and where I'm going with that is to say, okay, well, let's just take the number that we have now and say we'll escalate it. And so the bottom piece here, and I can show all the math, but we used 3%, 4%, and 5% annually from now until then, and so the present price goes up to $413 to $474 million. It's just math. I don't know what that solution would be, but I'm just trying to get people to understand that the current solution would cost that at that point.
Yes, Eric.
And then, Terry, with the estimates of even what the potential MSBA reimbursement could be with a community like this, when we were doing Fox Hill, they told us to estimate sort of at 25%. So even if it is over $400 million, 25% of that would still have around $300 million remaining for there wouldn't be, we'd end up having to borrow roughly the same amount of money, even if everything went sort of perfectly. There wouldn't be any financial savings. You may be able to make up for the inflation,
so.
but
the MSBA calculation is a complicated one, but you've obviously been given that guidance before. What I can tell you is that, say, in Lexington, their effective rate of reimbursement is 18.4%. So you're going to be closer to them and potentially even less depending on what the solution is.
I guess I was saying, sort of in contrast, where I've heard that like 50% of the project out there, and it's rarely 50%. So it's sort of much less than that.
People talk about matching funds.
Yeah.
There is no matching funds.
So
that's a 50-50
sort of the point
split.
I was trying to make. And again, so.
Right. Another way of looking at it is you wait. That's fine. The MSBA is going to pay for the escalation, but you're still going to have the same bill, and it's potentially going to be considerably worse.
All right, thank you. Anyone else, comments or questions? All right.
Just some things that have gone on this week. Christy and I, Nick, Martha, Doug Davison attended an event at the Council on Aging on Tuesday to answer some questions, and there was, I would say, about 20 residents in attendance.
Like 11 o'clock in the morning, yeah?
Yep. A couple of events coming up. I'm pretty excited for Trunk or Treat. I haven't figured out what costume I'm wearing, but that's on Sunday from 2 to 4 here, and I think the weather's supposed to be beautiful. Unfortunately, it happens to be during the Patriots game, but, I can forego that. A couple of different BCAT interviews are taking place. I know that on the 20th, an interview with Doug Davison will be posted with Nikki Cadillac on BCAT, and then on the 22nd, Catherine, yourself, myself, Chris have a discussion, which we're looking forward to.
Something to talk about with Linda
Something to talk about
McNamee.
is what it's called.
Right.
There's a joint event on November 5th at the PTO, and I'm trying to confirm if that's at the middle school or the high school, but we'll figure that out between now and then.
And if anyone else wants to send any emails to the, to me or to Terry, if you have any other ideas on community outreach, if you're not on the committee, we certainly would love to hear your ideas.
So one that I'll just raise and is, I think folks have made the request, can we tour the high school? And so I'm going to work with the administration, Bob, to determine probably 3 different times to, afford the opportunity for folks to come. So one will be probably during the morning, another one will be late afternoon, early evening, and then potentially on a weekend date between now and the next 3 weeks. So we just need to work on that and come up with that schedule, and then we'll announce it. We can put it through Parent Square on our website, post it on, I know that there's yes and no groups. They should all announce those so that, a fair representation of the town has the opportunity to see the school.
You're talking about tours.
Tours.
So the person that actually suggested it asked for evening.
Yep. Yeah, so that late afternoon, early, by 6 o'clock.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we're just trying to, if folks could come in the morning, the complication with that is school's open.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that doesn't work.
right. So I got to talk to the administration and figure out what can work.
Right, we talked about possible weekend and
Yep.
after, so
Yep.
see if it's possible, just to accommodate as many people as we can. Oh, yes, Megan.
I'm hoping maybe we can have some students available too to talk about their experience in the high school and how it impacts their education. Any teachers that are available who are comfortable participating would be great too. Thank you.
Good idea. Anyone else? All right. And I guess anything else, Terry, or should I just move on to any other topics that we didn't anticipate? Anyone want to chime in on anything? All right. Upcoming meetings? Oh, okay. Oh, hey, Zachary. Welcome. I didn't see that you were here. I want to, first of all, I want to say thank you for speaking up at town meeting. I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, of course. I was just going to say on the note about getting students to kind of share their own perspective. I had a couple who were interested in also speaking at town meeting. They didn't get the opportunity, obviously, but that's an option.
Awesome. Thank you. Maybe we can even get some recordings to put on the site of students if they can't attend.
Yeah.
Have them record their experience and put it on the site.
The chair, BCAT's available to be there for a tour, to interview, to document the tours and the student experiences. I think that would be also very helpful. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else online? All right. Next meeting?
We have 2 SBC meetings scheduled presently, the 13th of November, the 11th of December, and my expectation or hope is that I can schedule these going forward into the new year. I would suggest we keep the same cadence, which is the second Thursday of every month.
All right. Thank you, Terry. All right. Anyone else want to make any comments? If not, we can have someone make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.